Okay, you guys, I just want to do a quick review on the Carnivore tube doors for your Gladiator. Okay, this is a Mojave, has nothing to do with the doors, but I just wanted to go over a couple of things that I found problematic with these doors. First of all, inspect your door when you get it. Don't be like me and just assume that it's perfect, but inspect your door and make sure that there's nothing like this, chips or dings on it. This fresh out of the bag, something hit it at the factory and it's got a little bit of rust. It's got a little bit of rust there, so that's how I know that it wasn't done by me, because it's already started to rust a little bit. All right, one of the most important things about these tube doors is not the alignment, not getting the latch in. The latch, all that stuff is really easy to put in. Getting it on the hinges, really simple. The thing that I do not like about these doors are how the pieces are welded in. And specifically for the mirror mounts, this part right up here. If you look on the inside, you can see that this piece that's welded in here, let me see if I can get out of the sunlight. There we go. This piece is just welded in, okay? And if this piece is not welded in correctly, you're gonna know it when you try to mount those mirrors. And what I mean by that is, let me grab my mirror real quick. These mirrors are supposed to sit flush with this, but as you can tell, if you look at the bottom, you can see exactly how tight that is to the door. That should be welded out a little bit further. There shouldn't be such a large gap of metal at the top and a tiny one at the bottom here. See how close that is? I mean, that's just barely sticking. It's almost flush with the metal, and that's not going to work. And the reason why is because when you go to put your mirror on and you go to put your bolts through there, your bolts aren't going to reach the other side because of that gap right there. You see that gap? See that big gap at the bottom right there? See how it's almost touching on the top? And there's nothing to support this mirror. Your mirror is basically rubbing up against the door. So let me give you a view from the bottom real quick. There. So it's flush. It's sitting on the door. And when you put the bolts through, when you go to put the bolts through, they don't fit. They do not fit. So now you have to go and find some longer bolts to put through there and hope that that will work for you. So that's the first problem that I found. That's, for me, it's problematic because now I have to go get some bolts. Not a big deal, but still, you would think that if you're going to pay $800, $900 for a set of these doors, you know, for all four doors, that they would at least have some nice welds going on. Here, the welds don't look like they've even been grounded off. Just a lump. There's a sharp piece of metal right here sticking out. And then there's some bits of metal sticking out where you would think you'd want to put your hand, like there. There's another little bit of metal sticking out there. And then over here you can see this weld. Just not what I would call quality for what we spend on these. You know? Now, I'm no welding expert, but I do know that there is this thing called a grinder. And to create a nice finished look, you would most definitely probably want to grind that. Especially if it's somewhere that's just visible, you know. Again, there, it's just globbed on. But that's it. That's all I can see as far as my opinion and the problems that I see on these. I would check this first before trying to mount the door like I did, and definitely check the edges. Like I said, make sure there's no chips and stuff. I know you guys probably can't see that in the camera, but that definitely has a chip on it. Let's see if I can't fix that, I guess. So check these doors out before you put them on.